Hey guys, it's Bart Johnson here, and I got another video that I want to share with you today. I'm always looking for new and innovative ways to move my cameras around. And these days, one of the fastest growing ways to do that in popularity is using these 3-axis stabilizing gimbals. I recently just worked on a commercial using the DJI Ronin with a red Epic, but that's kind of a large, heavy, and very expensive solution. Now, there are other smaller solutions out there, and pretty much the smallest you can get is something like this. This is a handheld 3-axis stabilizing gimbal for the GoPro, and this particular one is made by LanParte. I just picked it up, took it on a trip to San Antonio, Texas with me, and I'd like to share with you guys my thoughts. The LanParte HHG-01 is a small handheld gimbal that is lightweight and is designed for GoPro cameras and cell phones. And it has 3 axes of stabilization. And the entire kit comes in this nice case. It has some rigidity to it. It's not perfectly hard, but it is solid enough to keep everything inside safe. So take a look inside. And inside the case, it comes with everything you could possibly need. The gimbal itself, a wall charger, power adapters, and some space for additional gear. It originally comes with these clamps for mounting cell phones to it. And here you can see I can fit my iPhone 6 in here, and I could record stabilized video on my iPhone. But I prefer to use the GoPro. So I picked up this GoPro mount, which is an optional accessory, and it's almost like the GoPro frame. The GoPro just snaps right in, and it comes with the standard GoPro mounting screw and system. And it also comes with this mounting plate that you attach to the gimbal, and you attach the GoPro, insert the screw, and then to finish securing the GoPro, there is a knob up top that has a sort of tension plate, and you go ahead and you tighten that down until it holds the GoPro in place. Now, in order to balance the camera, they have a small balancing weight here that you can move around, and it has a second screw where it attaches. And you move this around and get it just about to the point where your camera is balanced so that it won't roll and it also won't tilt forward or up. Now, this has 3 mounting points underneath. I kind of wish it had some more options, but the 3 are all it has. So in order to get the GoPro to be balanced, you kind of have to play with it and get it into some positions that it's not usually supposed to go. I end up using it like this, when usually they show you it's supposed to be mounted directly like this, where it's in line. And that works for cell phones, but you can see it doesn't work for the GoPro. The unit uses these really convenient magazine-style batteries that go right into the grip. And there's the connector port up top, and they just lock right in there, no problem. Now, they only go in one way, so I went ahead and added some nail polish so I could remember which way they go in. The batteries have a nifty status button on the bottom, which is also the power button, and it'll tell you how much juice is left. And here's the charging port, and you just use the included wall charger. Go ahead and plug the barrel connector in, and the LEDs will light up telling you that it's charging and how much is left. And you just go ahead and set it down and leave it to charge. So when you're ready to use the unit, just press that button on the bottom to power it on, and the unit will begin to stabilize itself. So let me go ahead and show you exactly how this guy works. Like I said, it's a 3-axis stabilizing system. So here you can see I have it out in my hotel room in San Antonio, and I can roll from side to side, and the footage is fairly stable. I can also tilt, and it has a follow mode on the tilt, both up and down to keep everything smooth, as well as a follow mode in pan to smooth out those jerky panning motions. And as you can see, you can push it to some pretty far extremes and it still is holding stable. Go ahead and go on each side. And if I turn around, I can show you exactly what's going on with the camera there on front. You can see me wearing my goofy GoPro chest harness, but again, it's got the follow mode on the pan and the tilt. And if I go ahead and turn it back around, I'm going to see exactly how fast it can go. And even with some pretty quick motion, it's able to keep up and keep everything relatively smooth. I was really impressed. So now that I've shown you guys the basics of how this little guy works, let me show you some footage of it actually in action out on the streets of San Antonio. So as you guys can see, this little gimbal is actually pretty capable for its size and for its price. This particular unit you can get for under $400. You just have to make sure that if you want to use it with the GoPro, that you find a seller who's selling it with the GoPro clamp included, because that is an additional accessory that you'll have to get if you want to use the GoPro as opposed to a cell phone. Now, one of the biggest things that we're always wanting to know is how long do the batteries on this thing last? Now, it has these great pistol grip style batteries here, and it comes with one. I picked up a second one just in case, but I really wanted to know exactly how long these batteries last. So while I was down in San Antonio, I did a test. So I set the gimbal up and removed all of the counterbalance so that it would have to have the motors working at full capacity to keep everything balanced. And here we go. You can see it's kind of freaking out at the beginning, but with a little bit of help, it gets itself stabilized. And now the motors are working as hard as they possibly can, which is not normal. After an hour, the battery is still going and it's still stable. And right about 2 hours and 28 minutes, it gives out. So 2 hours and 28 minutes under full load. So as you can see, under full load, the battery really does last a pretty decent amount of time, especially if you have a second backup battery with you. You're pretty much never going to run out of power because you're really not going to be running this thing for 2 hours straight at a time. You're going to be turning it on and off, using it in short spurts. And I really don't ever foresee you having a point where you are completely out of battery and still have some shooting to do. I know I certainly didn't have any problems with it. But now that I've shown you everything about how this is put together, how it works, and what comes with it, I want to go over a few things that I like about it and a few things that I don't like about it. Things that I like, I love that it's so lightweight. I love that it's of decent quality construction with the metal and plastic. And one thing that I really love about it is that it's so clean. There are so many gimbals out there that have batteries that you have to wire up, or they have wires exposed and hanging out, and there's all sorts of stuff that you have to worry about snagging. This whole unit is so simple and so clean and so well put together, and it's just great. Another thing that I love about it is that it's very forgiving with the balancing. You don't have to get it exactly perfect. You can get it pretty much close and then just turn it on, give it a few minutes, and it'll stabilize itself. So you don't have to sit there forever getting everything perfectly balanced. It's going to be very forgiving. And that's a really nice feature, because with something like this, you kind of just want to pick it up and go. You don't want to spend forever preparing it. Now on to some of the things that I don't like about it. The main thing that I don't like about it is I noticed that sometimes it isn't exactly perfectly level. Sometimes when you first boot it up, it takes a little while for the camera to actually level out perfectly. Sometimes it can take up to 15 minutes, I've noticed. Now you can always do some fixing in post and reorient it, but it is kind of aggravating that sometimes it's just slightly off kilter. However, the unit does have a USB port in the side for potential future firmware updates, and hopefully that's something that they can fix with a simple firmware update. So this could be fixed in the future. Another thing I don't particularly like about it is the balancing system. It seems like it wasn't very well thought out. It may work really well for the phones, but I found that in order to balance the GoPro, I kind of had to put it at an odd angle, and I kind of had to finagle it in ways that I shouldn't really have to. Again, it's not a huge issue, and for as simple as the machine is, it's fine, but I do kind of wish that they had come up with something a little bit more functional and a little bit cleaner. Other than that, I think the unit is pretty good. It's great for recreational purposes, and I plan on using it quite a bit on an upcoming short film that I have, where I plan on using the GoPro for some super slow motion shots. I'm definitely going to be using this guy to keep the shots stable and hopefully get some amazing footage out of it. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you guys want to see a longer video of some footage that I shot while I was down in San Antonio, I've already uploaded that video, and I'll put a link here on the screen for you so you can go and check that out, and you can sort of see what you can pull off with this particular unit. I definitely recommend picking one up if you want to go around and have some fun with your GoPro, and I hope this video was helpful for you guys. As always, if you like this video, please like it, and of course, please subscribe.